All right. Were these songs self-produced? Did you have a producer to help you? Somebody to tell you no, stop, or go back and do it again?
The first 2 years, I guess, or most of that time, was just the five of us in the studio, and it was like our clubhouse. We just were there every day and writing and producing music, and then that's where we kind of hit the wall and became kind of like, oh my gosh, we had these lists of songs on these huge pieces of paper in the studio, and we're just going like, what is going to be the album out of this? Where is it? You know, and so then at the end of the process, John met Mike Elizondo, who's a producer in LA, and he was a kind of executive producer, I should say, that kind of came in and was like, okay, what are the songs that only Switchfoot can sing? You know, what are the songs that, you know, you guys do that you know aren't anyone else's type or style, or like what is the essential elements? We sifted through a lot of them with him and really fought each other for them. And we would go to the mat, you know, and just be like,
2 pairs of
this
boxing
song
gloves
has got to be on the record, you know, this has got, you know, and then it would be like, well, but what about this, you know? And so that was not a straight road. That was a winding road for sure, that we really had to cover a lot of ground looking for these 12 songs.
Yeah, and Mike Elizondo was an incredible guy to bring along at the end of the project to kind of have a bird's eye view of it. Mm-hmm. He's best known for his work with Dr. Dre and Fiona Apple and different people, but I think a lot of people don't see him as a rock guy, but he has incredible sensibilities as far as tone and you know, we were excited to kind of bring him into that world.
It's kind of like what Bob Ezrin did when Pink Floyd was all messed up with The Wall.
Right.
They had all these songs in this order, and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So he came in and objective pair of ears from a detached point of view, told them what was good, what was bad, and helped them assemble it.
Yeah.
You need that.
You do. I mean, sometimes you stumble into it as a band, but a lot of times you're just so into the trenches of the war that you can't see the whole, you know, plan, battlefield.
Do you know how long it took me to work out this solo?
You're just cutting it? What?
We worked so hard on that, but it's not, you know, that's not as important as this one that came so quick, you know, and like, wow, you're right.
What kind of fan base relationships do you guys have? That's as an independent.
Very into that.
As an independent band, I mean, you don't have the traditional infrastructure of a major label helping you with your marketing and distribution. You have to do a lot of it yourself, and that means, you know, getting down there to the grassroots. How do you guys deal with fans?
We've, to give you a story, back when we started the band, there was just me, my brother, and Chad, and this is back when you'd send a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Oh yeah.
And with $1, and I'd give you a sticker and like a newsletter, you know, and I would write down at the bottom, thank you so much for writing. I'd read every letter and, you know, write something that was pertinent to
That's back
whoever.
in the 90s.
Yeah, and because all my heroes are the guys in San Diego, you know, the Boilermakers, the Fluffs, the, you know, No Knives and Heavy Vegetables of the world. These are my heroes. And that's what they did, you know, and they always were so personable with me, sneaking me into shows before I was of legal age to get in, and so that was what I saw as heroic, you know, and so for me, I think with technology, I view it as the next logical step of interaction, and I feel like a lot of times it can be overwhelming, but as long as you're continually attempting to use technology to bring people together, you know, use it for good instead of evil. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. We did a promotion with Twitter earlier on the project when the first single came out, where I actually was all day at my computer sending copies of the song all the way around the world, and people would burn a copy and hide it in different places. So from, you know, Milan to the Philippines, our hometown, you know, Greenland, all these different places over the world, the song pops up and it's like a scavenger hunt, you know.
So it would hide it, Twitter the location of it, somebody else would find it, and then make a copy and Twitter the location that
What
they
a great idea. This is for Mess of Me?
Yeah.
So we just gave it away like that all over the world.
Because we want, I mean, you want to get your song out there, but you want to do it in a way that has worth. Because you love this song, so this is a way that you can kind of,
Make them find it.
yeah, there's an investment.
Yeah, this engagement. That's the
Yeah.
whole idea, you know. It used to be that you listened to a song on the radio and you engaged with the song through the DJ and the radio station. Then maybe you went and bought the record. And maybe, if you were lucky, the band came to town, you got to see them. And if you were super lucky, maybe you got an autograph later. It doesn't work like that anymore because fans expect to be able to engage with you one-to-one right now.
Right.
And the technology is actually making that available.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done different, simulcasts from the studio
Yeah.
where I'm sitting there with my iPhone fielding questions from people, and we're answering them just like real time online through.
Yeah.
Do you have a webcam in the studio?
Yeah, we set up a webcam for the first 6 months or 8 months where it was on all the time, but with no audio. So it was just taking a picture of the studio every 3 or 5
I think
seconds.
that was the last record. This one actually was a
Oh yeah,
video.
we had live video actually,
Yeah.
not just snapshots. We had video going, and then we found we had to take it down because we figured we were always concerned about what people were seeing or dude, the webcam's,
Was I picking my nose?
The webcam's on.
Well, I don't know. Then you think about it,
Forget it.
and your mind goes off the music. So yeah.
What was I scratching at that moment? Did I
Yeah.
get picked up by the camera?
Was I in the frame when I? Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's a cool idea.
But yeah, it was
But
a
it's
cool
a lot
idea.
of pressure on you.
And we'd have hundreds of people just in the chat room, just watching and talking about whatever stupid thing we're doing, and they couldn't hear anything. But
How has all this paid off in physical, tangible ways? What have you seen as the result of burying these CDs all over the world and opening up your studio with a webcam and Twitter and everything? What have you seen in return?
Well, I think again for me, music is a communal experience. It's a community, and the tangible result for me is at the end of the night to have everyone sing along to this song. It's this incredible thing that happens where you're in this town. Maybe you've been there a couple times, maybe you've never been there, maybe you know someone, but you don't know all 1,000 of the people there. And there's this connection and this relationship that's established, that's built around this music. And it's an incredible feeling because for us, these songs are so personal. And so it feels like a very intimate moment, And actually this record, like I was saying, we're playing the entire thing every night from track 1 to track 12 as a start of our set. And so to have people singing along, days after the record comes out, months after the record comes out, that for me is the goal.
So you would never see that in the old days because not everybody would have had a chance to
Yeah.
absorb an entire record. They might know the single,
Yeah.
but they would never know track 12.
Yeah. And for us, in a day where one song is all you need type of thing on iTunes, we were very intentional about trying to make the whole record as a cohesive unit, a statement.
When you had 80 songs to choose from.
Yeah, right?
yeah, definitely.
So this is going to be an interesting cycle. We'll go through Hello Hurricane, take it to its logical conclusion as an album, and then pick up immediately with Vice Versa's.
We actually might put out another record before we put out Vice Versa. We've been talking about it. We might release, I don't know, some Goodbye Hurricane or something along those lines that would kind of end that chapter before we start the next one.
All right, fair. It's interesting to see a band this in control of their day-to-day lives and their destiny. And this is why I wanted to talk to you guys, because I think you're doing it right. I think you've got a formula figured out. You know how to take care of your fans. You have your own means of production with your own studio, and you can just do things for as long as you want with nobody over your shoulder. That's really cool.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. We're excited to be where we're at, that's for sure.